Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Rocky Mountain Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We have an incredible lineup of institutions for you to hear from this evening. But before I turn it over to them, I do have a couple of housekeeping items to cover with you first. Number one, we know that you're going to have some questions, so feel free to put those questions in the Q&A at any time. Do type out your question, but also note the college or university that you're directing your question to so that our panelists can answer appropriately. Secondly, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. And this is a really fun way to learn about multiple colleges in a short amount of time. Maybe find one that you hadn't heard of before. And so sign up for more sessions. There's still 2 more hours coming up after this. And this session will be recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/RMACAC within 1 week. So after saying all of that, let's get started. So first, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from Providence College. Take it away, Jennifer, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Courtney. And good evening, everybody. My name is Jen Robinson. I am an Assistant Dean of Admission at Providence College, a very proud alum of the college, and also the counselor who is responsible for the state of Colorado. So to get started, I always like to mention our location. Providence College is located in Providence, Rhode Island, as our name suggests. I always like to say that we have the best of both worlds because whenever you get to come and visit our campus, you'll see that we're located in more of a residential area, which allows us to have that traditional style college campus in the sense that it's self-contained. Buildings aren't too far from one another. And the college has its own green spaces, but that being said, we're only about a 5 to 10 minute drive away from downtown Providence, where there's a lot to do. There's tons of great restaurants that our students like to go to. Our men's basketball team plays downtown at the convention center, and we're also known as the creative capital. So always different shows and concerts coming into town. What you see on your screen here is called Waterfire, which is a big festival that happens throughout the spring, summer, and fall in the city of Providence. The college itself, you can see the fast facts for yourself. I always like to focus on that one in the middle there, and that is our size. So Providence College is right over 4,000 undergraduate students. We are primarily an undergraduate institution, so you'll oftentimes hear our current students say that we're a medium size. We really are that smaller to medium size. With this amount of students, it allows us to have an average class size of 20 students in a class and a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So this is a place where your professors will really get to know you well and actually, know your name and want to see you beyond the classroom. Something that's unique about Providence College is that we are the only institution in the United States founded by the Dominican Friars, which is an order of priesthood. They're also our athletic mascot if you follow college athletics, but the Dominican Friars are a Catholic order, so we are a Catholic institution, and they believe in a balance between faith and reason, and overall having a really well-balanced lifestyle. So students who come to Providence College are going to be educated not just in the classroom, but also beyond socially and spiritually as well. The way in which we ensure our students are academically well-rounded is through our liberal arts core curriculum. And there are a number of different courses that you can see on your screen, a number of different areas that are required that students fulfill. There's one course that every single student takes part in at Providence College, and that is the development of Western civilization. This course is 4 semesters long. That's what that number 4 next to it means. So essentially 2 years long, and it encompasses history, philosophy, theology, and literature, starting at the beginning of time, going all the way up until modern ages, seeing how those different disciplines intertwine throughout history. Since every student takes it, it's a course that'll be a little bit larger at Providence College, but it also really unifies our student body and allows students to get to know others who are outside of their major. Aside from all of the learning that happens in the classroom, we also say that learning happens everywhere, and it's really important for our students to be engaged in their learning. One way that students are engaged in their learning is through taking part in research on campus. Another way that students are engaged in their learning, of course, is by having internships. 96% of our students report having had at least one sort of internship or career experience by the time they graduate. And then finally, another way that students take their experience beyond our campus in a more normal year is by studying abroad. Prior to the pandemic, it was about 60% of our students who chose to take part in some kind of abroad program. Beyond the academics, there is so much more to life at PC. I think it would be near impossible to find a student who isn't involved with at least one sort of extracurricular activity. We have Division I athletics. We also have over 120 different clubs and organizations. We put on a great involvement fair at the beginning of every school year so students can go around and sign up for what it is they might be interested in. Life beyond PC, 96% of our students are employed or in grad school within 6 months. We take it a step further. We ask them, we know that you're employed, but are you employed in a field that you were hoping to work in? And 93% of students said yes. So we're pretty proud of that stat as well. We use the Common App at PC. It's a holistic review process, but certainly most important is going to be a student's academic academic performance. And so certainly grade point average and the curriculum that they've taken on throughout high school. We are a test optional school. We have been that way for over 15 years. So that's not something that's new for us. And of course, we're going to read your essays, your letters of recommendation, and take a look at your extracurricular activities as well. As far as financial aid goes, we offer both need-based financial aid as well as merit-based scholarships. You do not have to apply for our merit-based scholarships, so you'll automatically be considered for those. For need-based financial aid, we require the FAFSA and the CSS profile. So that's my quick 6 minutes. I hope that you are interested in learning more about Providence College. And if you are, certainly please visit our website. I also have to run because we have an admitted students event virtually tonight that I'm going to hop on, but I will leave my personal contact information in the chat. So please, please, please reach out to me.
Jennifer, thank you so much to you and Providence College. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing Lynn University. Ryan, take it away whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Handson. I am the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at Lynn University. Lynn University is a small private university located in Boca Raton, Florida. So we are right along the Atlantic coast side, 3 miles from the beach, closer to the cities of Fort Lauderdale and Miami. As we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about our campus culture, our population. But again, when you get into our area, you'll see it's much more residential, much more of that kind of tropical climate that many students and families like and enjoy. But South Florida is really a melting pot of all things. So when you get to our campus, you are going to see a variety of different cultures, students from all over the world, different programs, and a lot of things to do, both on and off campus. We were happy to have all of our students back this year and on campus. So going forward into the fall, we look forward to having everybody come back again and just kind of ramping up some of the events that we usually have. I mentioned a little bit all about our population. So usually have students from a little under 100 countries each year, from all over the US, and being that smaller individualized learning style, and we keep the small class sizes. So we are getting up to about 3,000 total undergraduate students right now. So a smaller university for sure, but very much personalized and gives you the opportunity to really engage with your professors, engage with your classmates, and be much more hands-on, especially in the ways of teaching that we have. We are an Apple Distinguished University. We use the iPad Pro, the pencil and the keyboard. So based off of your acceptance and enrollment with the university, you will receive a brand new iPad Pro, the pencil and the keyboard. We use this for all of our programs, regardless of your major. The majority of your textbooks are downloaded right from the Lynn Library, which saves you the cost because you don't pay for those textbooks. And then the textbooks are embedded with different video clips and links for you to be, again, much more engaged in the material versus just sitting down and reading a chapter or two and then taking an exam. We want you to have more discussions and be more involved and interactive with the actual material, pulling up current articles, different video clips, and looking into current events during those discussions. So the Apple iPad is yours. When you graduate, you take it with you. That's a nice perk, but you also will have all kind of different softwares on there. So anything that you need to help you be time managed or organize your information, you can download it straight onto the iPad and include your music or movies, whatever you need. When it comes to majors, we have 6 different colleges that house our programs. We have our College of Aviation for our College of Aeronautics for our aviation interested students, our College of Art and Sciences for our general sciences, psychology, criminal justice, forensic investigations, or even our BFA in musical theater and acting. We have our College of Business, which is one of our larger schools for sure, with interest in entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, aviation management, international business management. Then we have our College of Communication Design for our graphic art and design, film production students, our College of Education, and our music conservatory for anybody who's looking at participating in a classically trained musical conservatory. Part of the benefit with our programs is that anything that is not a BFA or a College of Education program can be done in 3 years, saving you time and money, and giving you really the best value for your time spent at a university. So you can complete your bachelor's degree in 3 years, stay for a 4th to pursue your master's, or attend a graduate program somewhere else, maybe closer to home. So you're not tied to the university, but still getting that benefit. We just implemented a block schedule with us, and the way that works is essentially you take 5 classes in the course of the semester, but you only focus on 1 or 2 courses at a time. You take those courses for 4 weeks, finish that grade, and then move on to the next course. A lot of our students really enjoyed it this year, and we're going forward. But if you're a student that is looking for that kind of different structure, or maybe you have academic support that you're looking for, it's a really good way to help you be successful and organize things differently. If you have questions about that, I'll leave my contact at the end. We can definitely go over it. Jobs and internships. So being at a small school does not mean you are restricted as to where you can work. These are all places we have current alumni or students doing internships, and you can absolutely be a big fish in a small pond with us, getting access to all the same companies and organizations that you would at a larger school. We bring in different jobs and companies in to do jobs and internships for our students. We have 3 different job fairs. And at the top of the stairs in the image behind that, you will see that's where our university center is and our career office. So you can head right up the stairs. They'll help you with resume building, interviews, and just finding the right fit overall for you. Campus-wise, again, we have a lot of our students that are residential. We're D2 NCAA teams. So if you're interested in that, go to linfightingknights.com. That's our athletic site. And make sure to follow us on social media to keep up with some of the upcoming events that we have. If you're applying in the upcoming year, our application opens up on August 1st. You can apply by November 15th for early action or March 1st for regular decision. And we will get you a decision back the second we get all of your documents. We are test optional, so we don't require SAT or ACT. We will just need your transcript, at least 1 academic letter recommendation, and your personal statement. Aside from that, tell us more about you in the extracurricular activities so we can really get a sense of who you are and what makes you you, and making sure that you're going to be the right fit at Lynn. And lastly, this is my contact. So if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to go over our block schedule format and explain a little bit how our students have found success with that this current year. We look forward to seeing you on campus. We are open for campus visitors. So if you are interested, go to lynn.edu/visit, and I hope to see you on campus soon. I'll leave my contact up here for our next presenter to change, but have a great evening.
Ryan, thank you so much to you and Lynn University. Fantastic presentation. Up next, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Marquette University. Hannah, take it away whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you so much, Courtney, and so lovely to see my colleagues. Thank you so much for having us tonight. Please. Okay. Welcome everyone, but I guess I should say thank you so much again for having us. I am representing the Midwest on this panel today, but I am proudly originally from the Denver area. So if you are interested in trading the beautiful Rocky Mountains for the beautiful Lake Michigan, come on down. I know our time together tonight is short, so I wanted to start out by sharing my contact information. Again, I hope this is the beginning of a long conversation, whether you are just kicking off your college search or whether you are an admitted senior making your decisions in the next week. We're here to support and are available via phone or email anytime. So to dive in with the obligatory stats of fast facts about Marquette, Marquette also is very proud of navigating that best of both worlds space. And I think that these numbers do a great job of starting to show that. So as a medium-sized institution, I think it's a really important takeaway that the numbers on this slide are small when we want them to be small, large when it's exciting that they're large. So on one hand, as a medium-sized institution, we are still wholeheartedly committed to instilling in you that sense of academic belonging that comes with a small student to faculty ratio of 14:1, average class size is 23. We hope this is good news to you, but your professors will know your name. And if you are in class or missing class that week, you'll also see familiar faces, not only within your major, but within the liberal arts courses that you'll be enrolled in, as we are a private Jesuit institution. So we want to make sure you're well-rounded in that way as well. And then on the flip side of that medium size, you also get to see a combination of new faces and be constantly expanding your network. So we have one of the larger alumni networks when it comes to Jesuit universities here in the US, and the commitment to Marquette is not a four-year commitment. You are graduating into an unbelievably zealous alumni network that sticks around in Milwaukee and relocates across the country and the world. We also can promise you those quintessential college type experiences that come with attending, say, a Marquette men's basketball game or one of our 13 other Division I athletic programs. If you are in the market for athletic spectatorship. We are located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is also a medium-sized city. When I first relocated to Milwaukee, I heard folks referring to Milwaukee as small Waukee, which still just takes the cake in terms of what makes this place so special. Because you certainly do have that urban feel and an urban opportunity, whether it's aesthetic, personal, professional, cultural, you name it. But simultaneously, being in the Midwest, we're friendly, and the city is certainly a part of that, and our campus is certainly a result of that as well. Another nice feature of small Waukee is that we are geographically compact. So we get a bus pass with the cost of tuition, and all of the downtown areas are within 30 minutes of our campus. So we've got that great central location. Over 325 student organizations to pick from, because we live in an age inundated with choice, and your university campus should be no different, as well as over 80 different majors. We are direct admit to all of our academic colleges, so those 80 majors are located across these 7. And what direct admit means is that we are going to immerse you in your major right off the bat. So for those of you who may be undecided as of today, I know I'm still undecided in life, and for that reason, Marquette prefers to call you multi-interested students, as we know that everyone is multi-interested in your heart of hearts. So even though we will ask you to pick one of these academic colleges at the time of applying to Marquette, we are, again, more than willing to work with you when it comes to moving between these academic colleges, double majoring, minoring across these. And really a benefit of direct admit is that you are starting right off the bat in that major, to the extent that if you don't like it, you have time to change gears. And if you do like it, then we want you to be able to have access to that faculty and those opportunities right off the bat as early as your freshman year. We also pool resources, so every single academic college has advising, career services, you name it. Next up, none of this would be so rich without our location in the downtown area of Milwaukee, and we'll zoom into Marquette's campus in just a minute. So these are some of the districts that our students will find themselves in. Third Ward is home to Milwaukee's lovely public market. Jordan Restaurant and Arts District. Pfizer Forum is where the NBA Bucks play, but more importantly, where the Marquette men's basketball team plays. The East Side, downtown, so many opportunities for you. Milwaukee is the city of festivals, and there were over 200 of these in the 2018-19 calendar year alone. So the slogan of the city of Milwaukee is live in Milwaukee and see the world. And then obviously that beautiful body of blue down there is our primary access to the natural world, and it's a mile and a half away from our campus. And as promised, here is our corner of the universe. So I love in terms of that best of both worlds expression again, that for all the aforementioned reasons, we are urban, but we are simultaneously contained, which means that we are a walkable campus. Even though we don't have gates around our campus, it takes no more than 15 minutes to get from one side to the other. And we want to instill in you that sense of geographic belonging that comes with knowing that you've arrived home onto a really distinctive campus identity, in spite of the fact that there's tons to do off campus as well. So not a suitcase campus. There's always something happening on Marquette's campus, whether it's a weekend or a weekday. And we have a 2-year residency requirement, which we promise will get you hooked on having everything you could possibly want from student organizations, community connections, office hours, right at your fingertips. So without further ado, I will sign it off to the next presenter, but so lovely to meet you all.
Anna, thanks so much to you and Marquette University. Guys, isn't this fun? You've already heard from 3 great institutions, but you still have 3 to go. Next up, I have the opportunity of introducing to you Florida Southern College. Take it away, Shannon, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So I will go ahead and jump off with some general information here. So to start off with, Florida Southern College is, contrary to the name, actually not in South Florida. So I think we're actually the furthest north of the Florida schools that are on the panel today, located in Lakeland, Florida, which is right in the middle of the state between Orlando and Tampa. Lakeland is a town of about 100 to 110,000 people, so it's a good balance between being a cozy community that really cares about Florida Southern and the students, but also still being large enough that you have opportunities to do internships and things like that, and also head into Tampa and Orlando for that big city feel as well. Florida Southern likewise kind of straddles that line between being a small school and a little bit of a larger school, in that we're not tiny, but we're also a little bit smaller than some of the other institutions on here. So we run about 3,000 total students, and that includes about 500 students who are in graduate programs. For us, we are split across a couple different schools, but the only programs at Florida Southern that are direct entry are the nursing program. We are a direct entry Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and some of the Bachelor of Fine Arts programs will require an audition. Everything else, you're more than welcome to come in and apply to the college as a whole and kind of move around as you see fit. Florida Southern also has a couple really cool opportunities for things like accelerated masters, if you're interested in pursuing something like an MBA, if you're interested in pre-professional programs, or if you're interested in pursuing a combination program at some place like medical school, engineering school. So come talk to us about your academic goals, and we'll be happy to help you figure out what works best for your needs. But really, regardless of what you're studying, Florida Southern really emphasizes that hands-on, engaged learning aspect of things. We want to make sure you're doing research, you're getting a chance to work on case studies, you're producing like TV productions. Like, we want you to be able to do things that are going to produce real, tangible results in your classes. So it's really common for our students to continue on to conference presentations or to publish before they graduate. And there's certainly a lot of that due to the small class size and really being heavily engaged with what you're doing. The other thing that we talk a lot about is that we want you to see what you're learning outside of the classroom as well. So Florida Southern kind of structures in these 3 guarantees that we want to make sure you have a chance to experience while you're at college. So the first big one is study abroad. We guarantee that you'll get a chance to go abroad in some capacity, whether that's doing a shorter junior journey program or doing a full semester or a full year study abroad option. The junior journey is structured to work with pretty much every major on campus, double majoring if you're a student athlete, doing internships, regardless of what it is. We want you to be able to take that experience and go abroad. So we've been everywhere from doing shark nursery work in Bimini to immersion trips to Spain if you're working on languages, and there's tons of trips offered every year. The next big one is internships. We want to make sure that you get a chance to get started on that whole you need experience to get experience cycle early on. So we do guarantee internships, whether that's as close to home as in Lakeland or as far away as places like the Philippines and South Africa. And then the last big one is that we want you to graduate on time, and we want you to graduate in 4 years. So we do guarantee graduation in 4 years, and there's a very stringent advising structure in place to make sure that you'll come on campus and really take the most advantage that you can of that time, and then continue on into your kind of post-grad environment, wherever that might be. So Florida Southern statistically sends about 1/3 of its students to some form of graduate school, whether that's professional schools like medical or dental school, continuing to MBAs, all sorts of things there. And about 2/3 of students continuing on into the workforce in a variety of locations around Florida and around the world. But we are a residential campus, so to kind of talk a little bit more about what the experience of living here feels like, we are located on Lake Hollingsworth, that lake down there at the bottom left. That is the view outside of one of the residence halls. That's also the view from my office here. So we are definitely located in a really beautiful, kind of cozy, quiet, historic area. And we really value the sense of community that living on campus brings. We also are a Division II team. So if you are interested in playing sports for the Division II teams, come talk with me or the coaches, and we'll help get you in contact with the people that you need to be in contact with. If you're interested in water skiing or equestrian or any of the club sports, let me know and we'll help you find out what's going to suit you best there as well. In terms of the kind of extracurricular side of things, plenty of stuff to do on campus. If any of this sparks your interest, let me know and I'll help connect you to students who can talk your ear off about all the things that they're involved in as well. So application-wise, we are on the Common application, the Coalition application, and the FSC specific application. We are a free application and you do not need to submit test scores to be evaluated for admission or for merit scholarships. You can kind of see the components of a completed application there and the middle 50% for admitted students information. But again, if you have questions about any of this, come talk with me. Same thing goes for financial aid. You're automatically evaluated for merit scholarships. There are a couple of prestige scholarships that require a separate application, and there are options for talent scholarships as well. We're open for visits, both virtually and in person, and I will leave my contact information there as I wrap up.
Shannon, thanks so much to you and Florida Southern College. Next up, I have the opportunity of introducing to you Nova Southeastern College. Take it away, Christopher, whenever you're ready.
Hey everybody, my name is Chris Rogers. I am an admissions counselor for Nova Southeastern University, and I work with students from the entire west coast of the United States. And NSU is a private selective research university that's located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We have about 5,600 undergraduate students that averages out to about 17 students per class. And I think the largest class that we have is 60. So not really, much opportunity to get into a much bigger classroom setting. So you do get to know your professors pretty well. And then as far as the student body goes, we're pretty diverse. We have all 50 states represented on campus, as well as over 100 different countries represented on campus. And this next program is called our Excel program. It's my favorite aspect of NSU. It's designed to get our students outside of the classroom and get them firsthand experience in their particular area of study. And obviously most universities want that for their students and they offer you opportunities, but at NSU it's actually a requirement to graduate. So you won't be able to graduate without having some pretty awesome experience on your resume. And the way we do that is you have to fulfill certain requirements to graduate by collecting what we call units of Excel, and you do that through the 3 categories that you see there on your screen. So we have study abroad and travel study. And obviously study abroad is, a full semester in another country, whereas travel study is very specific to your major. We've had students who are studying marine biology go to the Galapagos Islands and work with endangered species. We have students that are interested in the medical field who go to other different parts of the world where they don't necessarily have the medical resources and they go on mission trips there. And then the next would be career development. And the way to fulfill that would just be through internship and shadowing opportunities. And we have a lot of really cool opportunities for our students without actually having to leave campus. So for example, we have a private kindergarten through 12th grade school on campus, so education majors can get those opportunities. We have countless medical clinics and ER, a hospital located on campus, so lots of opportunities for shadowing. The Miami Dolphins are actually located on campus, so shadowing opportunities for students interested in physical therapy, internship opportunity for students who want to get in the business end of professional sports teams, just to name a few of the cool experiences that are actually right there on campus. And then finally, research is the final way to meet that requirement. So we're doing research in just about every field. We are a research university, so the opportunities are there for our students. Next, I'm going to talk about what we call our premier programs. The first one I'll talk about is Razers Edge. It is a 4-year residential scholarship program that requires you to live on campus for all 4 years because there is a lot of co-curricular stuff involved, and that Co-curricular activities pertains to each of the different tracks, which you can see down there on the bottom of your screen. So we have global for students that are interested, international studies or international business, research for students who know for a fact they want to do research in college, leadership for those students who are maybe in student government or the captains of their sports teams. And then we have Shark Talent for students interested in any of the arts, and then Shark Teach for education majors. The next program we have is called dual admission. So it just gives you the opportunity to reserve your seat in one of our graduate school programs during your senior year of high school. And it's a great way to get into one of our many competitive graduate school programs. For example, our medical school has about 10,000 applicants. And if you get in through dual admission, you don't have to compete with those 10,000 applicants. You just really have to compete with yourself and meet some minimum requirements to take your seat in the program. The next program is for education majors. It's called the Fischler Academy. It's an accelerated program, so you get your bachelor's and master's in just 4 years, and then a guaranteed teaching job in the state of Florida upon graduation. And then we also have the Huizenga Business Innovation Academy, which is an accelerated business program, which you get your bachelor's in 3 years, your MBA in the 4th. And then upon graduation, you have the opportunity to pitch a business idea to NSU for the opportunity to get up to $20,000 in startup funds. And then you can also start an on-campus business during your junior year at NSU. So the first 2 years would be designed to, kind of teach you the ins and outs of running your business. And then year 3, you'd start a business on campus with $5,000. And we actually have storefronts on the first floor of our residence hall where you can start that business and have a space to run it out of. If you're interested in any of those programs, first you'd apply to NSU. We have another application you have to submit that's pretty short, just selecting your programs and explaining your interest. And then we would invite you to Shark Preview Weekend, which is an event we hold on campus starting in the spring, where as long as you can get down to Florida, we would pick you up from the airport. You'd stay in one of the residence halls, meals are provided, and then you interview for all of those programs. In terms of location, we're located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is about 45 minutes north of Miami. And we're about 10 to 15 minutes from the location you see on your screen, which is Fort Lauderdale Beach. And then we're just 3 hours south of Orlando. So a lot of our students take advantage of going to Disney World or Universal Studios for the weekend if there's not a lot of studying to be done. Now here are the scholarships we offer. All students that are admitted to the university receive the Dean Scholarship, anywhere from $5,000 to $19,000. The Razers Edge Scholarship Program we discussed is $24,000, and then the Fischler and Huizenga Business Innovation Academy is both $20,000 per year. And then here are deadlines. The application will open up August 1st. The early decision and early action deadline is November 1st. Regular decision deadline is February 1st. And then of course, you'd have to make your decision by May 1st. And that's it for my presentation. If you have any questions, I will put my contact information in the chat.
Chris, thanks so much to you and Nova Southeastern University. We really appreciate you being here. Our final presentation tonight will be from the University of Delaware. Chuck, take it away whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone being here. I want to take a few moments to talk about the University of Delaware. And usually the very first conversation I have is the exact location of where the University of Delaware is. We're located in Newark, Delaware, which is about a 45-minute drive south of Philadelphia. But as you can see by this map here, we are really convenient to an additional 3 very popular and very populated East Coast cities. New York City is a little bit further away, but 2 hours by train. 90 minutes by train to Washington, D.C., and about an hour from Baltimore. So we're actually right on the Amtrak and the SEPTA commuter train line. We have a train station on the south end of our campus. And we're also located right off the I-95 corridor. So if you've never been to the East Coast, it's the major interstate that goes all the way from Maine down to Florida. As you can also see, we're very close to the Atlantic Ocean. One of our 8 colleges is actually the College of Earth, Ocean, and Environment, wonderful for marine biology, oceanography as well. But we are the flagship Tier 1 research school in the state of Delaware. We're a public institution, and we're on the lower end of a larger size. We have 18,000 undergraduates and only 6,000 graduate students on top of that. But where I talked about our location being very prime and strategic. Our students do have a lot of social and academic urban options, but it's a real residential college experience. It's really that East Coast classic, and you can tell by the buildings, the architectures, that Georgian architecture, the red bricks, white columns. And if you look at this picture of campus, you see from in the center, from the top to the bottom, there's this very large wide open green space. And you have on the perimeter, the Georgian architecture buildings that actually go all the way back, many of them to 1743. And a lot of those are academic buildings, dormitories, libraries. We have 2 wonderful student centers on campus as well. But the hub and center of campus life is the green. And the middle building there is Memorial Hall in the green, and it divides north and south green. Memorial Hall is where you will have at least one communication or composition course. But the reason I point that out there is that's kind of one of the main focal and navigational points to campus. A little bit below there, you have our first year village. All of our first year students are required to live on campus, and actually about a half of our total student body do live on campus for at least 2 years. And one thing to point out about the population is 70% of our total student body are not from the state of Delaware. So where we are a great flagship institution, you know, predominantly most of our students are coming from Chicago-based East, but if you do come to the University of Delaware, you're going to meet a lot of students from around the US and actually around the world as well. You might see a lot of colleges, if you're looking at the Mid-Atlantic and the East Coast, that might look similar to this. So what are some things that might differentiate us? Well, at least from the social aspect, I will say this: we have an amazing main street that intersects our green. The campus itself is about a 10-minute walk from the center campus to the main street, where for the students here, you're going to want to certainly go off campus at least once or twice a week. So knowing at really a short 10-minute walk, you could be off campus with 80 different unique boutiques, restaurants, and shops really at your disposal is a definite benefit. And a lot of students will enjoy our restaurants. They'll find places to study in small groups. It's this real college town feel as well. That's definitely adjectives that describe our campus. So knowing that you have this here, in addition to the amenities on campus, are great. But some other things that distinguishes us academically is the fact that you can be directly admitted into any one of our 150 different majors. But also, if you're a little undecided between a couple different tracks here, I'm proud to say that 20% of our students come in each year as university studies students, meaning they have multiple interests or they haven't formally decided either. So just know if that is you, we have dedicated advisors for university studies students. So that is certainly a welcome path at the University of Delaware. But we're divided into 8 different colleges. Many of us know us for the health sciences and engineering, but I do want to point out we are a liberal arts university at its core. We have excellent psychology programs, an art conservation program that is actually one of 4 institutions in the United States that has an undergraduate and graduate program in art conservation. Psychology, neuroscience, our College of Business is amazing as well. We have a triple linguistics program, but also sciences. We're very big in the sciences. We have a top 10 chemical engineering program that we've had Dow, Gore, and DuPont as major corporations that are in our backyard that really provide resources for our students. We're the #1 physical therapy program in the nation. So that doctoral program has amazing opportunities for our undergraduates in exercise science and sports health. In addition, our most competitive program is nursing. So if a little bit of those latter programs that I mentioned, if any of them might interest you, I definitely recommend that those might be your first choice on either the common application or coalition, as they are a little bit more selective and competitive. But the good thing is a lot of our students will actually add 1, if not 2 different minors or even double major at the University of Delaware. Ever since I've been here for the last 7 years, we've maintained an excellent 4-year graduation rate. It's actually at 73% in 4 years. Very quickly, as I wrap up here, for some students who might look at our campus as still being too large, we do have an honors college program that does make that community smaller, and other living learning communities like the World Scholars, where you actually travel abroad your very first semester with other first UD students. We were the very first university to do travel abroad out of any other college or university. And my last slide before the contact information, we have the #1 ranked youth entrepreneurship competition called the Diamond Challenge. It's open to any high school student around the world, so go to diamondchallenge.org to check that out. And this is my contact information. I'll put it in the chat as well. I unfortunately do have to dip out for the Q&A section and also for the advice, but I want to thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Courtney, and thanks to my colleagues as well.
Chuck, thank you so much to you and the University of Delaware. We know that this is a really busy time of year for all admissions professionals. So now I'd like to invite those of you that can to turn back on your cameras, and we'll go round robin in the same order that we presented originally, and to share a little bit more information about your university. So what's your favorite event or tradition on campus? Or if you'd rather give a fun fact. So we'll be starting with Lynn University first.
Hey, so we have two things that I like. We do the different times of the year. One is the Celebration of Nations, which we do at the fall semester, which celebrates just all the different cultures that we have on our campus. So we do kind of a festival with food and all the different types of food from all around the world. And then we do our Celebration of the Arts, which happens in the spring. We actually just had it last week, and that celebrates all the creative arts that we have on our campus. So two really good programs that we have.
Okay, I think it's Marquette next. Marquette's campus has the oldest structure in the United States still used for its original functional purpose. That is the Joan of Arc Chapel, which was transported stone by stone from France to Marquette, the lucky winner. So built in the 1400s, so it's an unbelievable, beautiful structure, but students still do use it for beautiful candlelight vigils and weekly 10 p.m. masses. So it's a beautiful space. There's a lot of theories that certain stones are a colder temperature than the rest of the surrounding stones and that it's haunted. So come and check it out if you like architecture and beautiful practical spaces or ghosts. So.
Well, mine's also about architecture, but unfortunately not about ghosts, so I don't know if I can measure up to that. But one of Florida Southern's other big claims to fame is that we're a National Historic Landmark for our collection of Frank Lloyd Wright architecture. So one of the great American architects really designed the campus, and one of those is a Frank Lloyd Wright designed fountain in front of the library. Normally, because it's a National Historic Landmark, you can't enter it, but one day a year they lift the fine penalty so that all of the seniors can have a pool party in it. So you get to have a pool party called Senior Splash in the National Historic Landmark.
And my favorite tradition at NSU takes place during homecoming week. So we have a lake at the center of campus called Gold Circle Lake, and every homecoming we have an event called the Anything Floats Boat Race, where our students, please ignore my dog in the background, where our students go around campus looking for things to like build rafts out of, and they race them across the lake. It's called Anything Floats, but everything pretty much sinks, and it's absolutely hilarious to watch our students try to get across the lake.
And that is our final bit. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us this evening. As you close out, there'll be a quick 4-question survey. We hope that you'll provide us with some feedback. We hope that you had fun tonight and sign up for more sessions. This is a really great opportunity for you to explore during your college search process. This was recorded, and everything recorded tonight will be available at strivescan.com/RMACAC. We also hope that you have some fun in this college search, and best wishes, everyone. Bye-bye.